You know, my daddy always told me to cater to a gorgeous woman carrying a 20-pound sledge. Everybody, Max here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Courtney CoverGirl Krieger. This is the retro carded CoverGirl. She's the blonde variation, and if you had asked me a few years ago, I would have sworn up and down that she was blonde. But no, the original CoverGirl was actually a redhead, and I completely forgot about it. Maybe this is because the actress that played CoverGirl in the G.I. Joe movies was blonde, and maybe that's why I was associating it, because I had no memory. In fact, I don't think I had anybody or knew anybody that had the Wolverine and had her or anything like that. So, yeah, and I'm a natural redhead myself. How could I have forgotten a natural redhead? But here we are. We have the blonde version. Not really sure who this version is, unless it's just the original who dyed her hair blonde. I don't know. But anyway, I think it's kind of cool that we're getting a retro carded cover girl. And I'm showing you the package here, really just kind of showing this what I'm assuming is the AI generated artwork on the cover, which is not too bad if an AI generated it. I certainly hope a person actually made this because Hasbro had some layoffs, and I certainly hope that their design team was not affected by that. Terrible to hear about anybody losing their job. I've been through layoffs before, and it's not fun. So anyway, this is the artwork. File card on the back. You can pause that and read it. English is at the top if you want to. So there's that. She comes with the Joe laser rifle. It was always a laser rifle in the cartoon, so don't know why they can't seem to stick with a color scheme, but this one has silver and OD green and black. And it's a little warped, but a hot dunk will fix that. She comes with two trigger finger hands, which she is sporting right now, and then she has two fists. She has G.I. Joe stand. And she comes with two head sculpts. You're seeing the smiling head sculpt and the stoic head sculpt is right here. And you have two different hair pieces that you can change out, which is great. I think this is really cool that they went that far. And so you have the, what is this? The Pitts Garage. So you have the ponytail. Gosh, couldn't think what that was called. And it snaps in very, very well. So you can display her with smiling ball cap or stoic hair down. So that's cool. Very long hair. Not really sure why it is as long as it is. I'm probably going to display her like this, even though I've got her right here because, well, she's happy she took out a bunch of bats. But yeah, I kind of like this particular head sculpt, and you get a bit more range of motion in the head with the braided hair. So we'll throw that on here in a second, and let me kind of adjust my light a little bit. Get these bats out of the way. She is bonkers with the sledgehammer. Okay, so she comes with a warped wrench, and well, we can excuse that for her because she, well, you know, she's also bonkers with the wrench. So she took out the bats with those guys. We also have a warped 20-pound sledge. Also needs to be dunked in water. But yeah, fiberglass handle. I'm assuming because I mean, yeah, she went to town on these guys. She comes with what looks like a Sport 1911 or 2011, I guess, compensator on the end. It too is a little warped. So all of her weapons are going to be getting a hot bath here in a little bit, but it's got pretty cool detail. I think maybe we've seen this before. I don't recall seeing this raised sight here, but the detail. Hopefully you can see that the star on the handle on either side. So I'm wondering if this is a 45. That's a big bore pistol for her. But anyway, not to be sexist or anything. And then you have the hairpiece that can come off, and it is freakishly long. Don't really know why they bothered with that. They could have just as easily made, I mean, if they were modeling this after the actress from the movie, her hair wasn't nearly this long. And it, of course, And I don't have it on there fairly well. Hopefully that looks right. But she can look down, but not so much, and side to side is very limited because of the long hair. So, but it is actually fairly well detailed. And the color, it's not just, there's some shading in here. There's some different types of flaxen, different kinds of blonde. So it's not just one yellow color. Hopefully you can see that. But yeah, it turned out fairly well. I just just taking this off here. It is very, very thick and it is very rigid. So um, it is up to you how you want to display your cover girl. I kind of feel like the head portraits here, I mean, I get a young Britney Spears look from this. So you tell me what you think in the comments section. So yeah, definitely have, she's definitely the best looking Joe, that's for sure. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder, of course. So let's see, let's get her, let's swap out her hair. And this hairpiece is actually kind of difficult to get off. But once it's on there, it snaps in place fairly easily. Come on now, don't make a liar out of me. There we go. So yeah, so it's a bit more flexible, and so you get a bit more range of motion. The head's really not going to look up much anyway, I don't think, because it's that, the ball system, but she looks down that far with the ball cap. And it's good, really good detail all around, even on this hairpiece. And just kind of another close-up of the face prints. They turned out very well. The eyes turned out really well. I mean, they just, the paint on the eyes and eyebrows and lips and everything turned out very well. Even the teeth didn't get messed up. So that is fantastic. It's a really good head portrait. So let's see. Arms all the way around. No butterfly joint. Well, actually, I take that back. There is something of a butterfly joint. I was thinking it might be something like the Marine Sniper that has kind of a faux butterfly joint, but I think this might be an actual butterfly joint for her. So that's great. I actually, the Marine Sniper, I had cause to take the arms out and discovered that it's not an actual butterfly joint. It's just a collar around the shoulder. So yeah, this one seems to have something of a butterfly joint. So she has the typical bicep swivel, pinless joints. Now the left arm on this one is a little loose for my taste. Not too bad, but just kind of, when it moves that easily, I always get a little worried. I've never, even as a kid, never liked loose joints. I mean, I'm sure most people don't, but I had a particularly significant problem with it, so I was using glue and handy tack and thread and all kinds of stuff to keep my Joes in action form. So yeah, right arm's pretty good. Got a really good paint on AFV. Let me know in the comments if you know what that stands for. She's an E4 Krieger armor, so she's a mechanic. Has a good overlay for the jacket here. It's thin enough, and I'm not trying to be pervy here, but obviously she is definitely well endowed, and they did not skimp on that, and very low cut. So Hasbro understands the market, I guess. so um, so yeah, and she's got the diaphragm cut on all that, and she turns fairly well. Both at the waist, actually I think she's turning better at the waist than at the diaphragm. So let me get this belt out of the way. It's obviously free floating. I will talk pretty one day. And let me get that belt down just a tad. And typical wrist stuff, wrist swivel, vertical hinge on the left, and I'm sorry, horizontal hinge on the left and vertical on the right. Trigger finger hands on both of them. So there's that. I will learn my left from right and my vertical from horizontal eventually. But yeah, the overlay for the jacket is Thankfully, it's not too thick, not too rigid. Obviously, you can move it around a bit. Um, if she had, if we could change out the arms or something, or the joints. You could have a, brown sleeves or something like that. Maybe someday down the line, somebody can customize it. Who knows? But yeah. So there's really not. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's some twist at the diaphragm, and then twist at the waist. So yeah, this new wave of figures seem to have gotten the issue with at least the issues that I've had with the twisting at the waist and at the diaphragm. They're much more fluid, so I'm glad for that. Belt is really good all the way around. Holster, some silver paint, some green paint. I'm guessing it's all brown. And silver paint on the zippers. That's great. And then some extra green in the lapel here. They didn't have to do that, but they did. So yeah, and I think these are all new parts too. I don't think we've seen these arms before, so that's great. They didn't reuse the Marine Sniper or anything like that. These legs are not Lady J's again, so that's great. So I'm thinking she is top to bottom brand new. So yeah, she got pretty good splits. Drop down hips, yes. And let's see, kicks up that far, past 90 degrees, really good. Pretty good fluid knee joints there, nothing too loose. She kicks back that far. Obviously, we have the thigh swivel, and we have a boot swivel, and then we have a ankle rocker like what we're used to. So that's great. And even new boots for her. That's great. New feet, near as I can tell. Some brown on black. No pouches or anything. No pockets on her legs or anything like that. Yeah, I can see somebody maybe complaining that this is she's kind of basic looking, I suppose, but I don't think so. I think she looks kind of like like a grease monkey. That's who she is. She pilots or drives the Wolverine mobile rocket launcher, which is what she's famous for. And until they give us that, we will have to make do with just Courtney Krieger, CoverGirl, by herself. And this actually gives me a reason to seek out the first version of CoverGirl, maybe just the head, just to swap out and see what it looks like, because I wanted to get her to begin with, but I'd seen some reviews where the arms kept falling off, so I just didn't want to waste the money and have a figure where the arms are falling off. So anyway, I might reach out and see what I can find, see what's out there, and maybe just get the first CoverGirl's head sculpt and put it on here and see what she looks like. But yeah, this is a really solid figure on a whole. The only thing that I have a problem is just this little kind of just a little loose right there. I don't see any structural issues. It doesn't feel wobbly, which well, maybe it does. Yeah, a little bit. Which that comes and goes. You have figures that do that from time to time. And I was looking back through some of my older classified figures, the ones that I consider kind of like the better ones, I suppose. And some of them still have kind of like a wobbly joint right there. So, but there's no gummy joints here, like something that, like if she had pins, or something that I've kind of been noticing more on Marvel Legends is gummy joints, which is why I don't buy as many of those anymore. So she is very solid. So I don't think I'm leaving anything out other than I need to give her a warp factor, which I think I'm going to give her a warp factor of, like, say 8.8. Yeah, I think she's pretty solid. And yeah, I like the fact that it comes with the extra, display options here, different headpieces, hair, all that kind of stuff. And, little extra tools and that sort of thing. I guess it could have been kind of cool to get a toolbox for her or something like that. That would have been cool for her to carry around. But I'm not dinging it for that not coming with it. I just think that yeah, that would have been a nice accessory. Even if it didn't have a lot of extra tools in there, just kind of maybe pre-molded. Just to say, oh, hey, she can carry it. And so anyway, yeah, that is Courtney Krieger, CoverGirl. Let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, woman down. That is one kind of problem I have with my female figures, my classified figures, is they I almost always have to use stands with them. Their feet don't always, they're kind of rounded sometimes at the bottom. So, and they just don't, they just wobble a little too much. So, all right. Warp factor of 8.8 for Miss Courtney Covergirl Krieger. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Continue to be awesome. I'll talk to you next time.